Okay, so things are getting incredibly tense. The United States has basically drawn a line in the sand for Iran. You have until March 27th to make a deal or else. But, what we're seeing in public is only half the story. Behind the scenes, there's this secret war raging, a major political power play unfolding, and it could change absolutely everything. The clock is ticking, and the stakes, they couldn't be higher. So here's the official story from the White House. They just pushed back their deadline for a deal to March 27th. And the reason they're giving? President Trump is saying Iran has agreed to some massive concessions. We're talking halting its nuclear program and its missile activity. Now, on the surface, that sounds like a monumental breakthrough, right? Well, here's where it all gets messy. On the very same day the White House is talking about these productive talks, the Iranian official who is supposedly at the table comes out publicly and denies the whole thing, says no negotiations are happening at all. So what in the world is going on? Is there a secret deal in the works, or are we just watching a masterclass in diplomatic smoke and mirrors? To even begin to understand this contradiction, we have to look away from the press conferences and the statements and turn to the actual battlefield. Because right now, there is a massive and sustained air campaign happening against Iran. And when I say massive, I mean it. The scale of this operation is just staggering. According to Israeli military sources, a whopping 330 of Iran's 470 ballistic missile launchers have either been destroyed or forced so deep underground into bunkers that they're basically inaccessible. That's a devastating blow to Iran's ability to strike back. And you can see these strikes aren't random at all. This is a systematic campaign to just dismantle Iran's ability to retaliate. The targets are incredibly strategic. We're talking about bases that store their long-range missiles, facilities that develop new ones, and even the command headquarters in Tehran that controls all of it. The campaign is also going even deeper, beyond just the missiles. They're now hitting the command structure of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. Now, you gotta understand, these are the regime's elite units, the ones they use to maintain control inside the country. Hitting them suggests the goal here might be much bigger. Maybe it's about weakening the regime's very grip on power. Of course, a conflict like this is never just contained within one country's borders. It's sending shockwaves all across the Middle East. Just look at the escalation in Lebanon. Hezbollah, which is Iran's most powerful proxy group, has gone into complete overdrive. They recently claimed an incredible 55 attacks against Israel in just one 24-hour period. I mean, to put that into perspective for you, their previous all-time high back during the intense fighting of October 2024 was only 3 attacks per day. This is a whole different level. And they are not being subtle about it. They're issuing direct threats, signaling that they are digging in for a long, long war. A senior Hezbollah official has warned Israel to expect surprises, and he specifically pointed to new and more sophisticated drone capabilities, which, by the way, they've been using more and more. Meanwhile, over in the Persian Gulf, you can see Iran making this really careful strategic calculation. Reports are suggesting they're actually holding back on attacks against Saudi Arabia, probably because they're afraid of a direct, overwhelming military response. But instead, they're keeping the pressure on other Gulf states like the UAE and Bahrain. It's their way of showing they can still project power across the region. Okay, so all of this, the war, the proxies, it brings us right back to that bizarre contradiction we started with. The talks that are happening but also somehow not happening. And it seems like at the center of it all is one man. So who exactly is Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf? He's the Speaker of Iran's parliament, sure, but he is so much more than just a politician. He's a former senior commander in the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard, and he has incredibly deep ties to the military. This puts him in a really unique position, right? He's got the political authority of a speaker, but the street cred of a general. And word is, he has consolidated an immense amount of influence since this war began. His rise to power recently has been just remarkably fast and decisive. First, he steps into a senior command role during some of the earlier fighting. Next, he creates this new defense council to basically centralize and control the entire war strategy. And then he was reportedly a key player in making sure the new supreme leader secured his position. So you see what he's done? He's placed himself at the absolute center of both Iran's war effort and its entire political future. So this is the point where all these different threads start to come together. You've got the punishing air war, the escalating proxy battles across the region, and these intense internal power plays in Tehran. And it is all converging on that single deadline. This is where we are today, and it's all balanced on a knife's edge. On one side, there's intense military pressure that is systematically taking apart Iran's ability to fight back. On the other, you have this fragile, officially denied back channel for talks. And all of this is happening while the regional conflict is threatening to just spiral out of control. And that March 27th deadline, it is just days away. And that leaves us with the ultimate question. Golubov, this hardliner with deep military roots, he might be the only person in Iran who could actually sell a deal to the regime. But what's his play? Is he actually negotiating a surrender because of all the military pressure? Or is he just trying to buy time before the next, even more violent phase of this conflict kicks off? As that clock ticks down, which path will they choose? Negotiation or escalation?